Good evening. So this is going to be episode 1 of my tutorial for Gimp, Starters Edition. We can get into much more advanced stuff, but for the time this is for a basic audience that essentially know how to use Gimp enough to manage images and get it going and have things going the way they want. So the first things first, right? So you need to know your page size, whether it be in pixels or in inches, whatever works for you. You need to know one or the other. So for me, I was doing some research here, trying to learn some things, but you'll pull up whatever browser you use. As you can see, my preference is Firefox. And once this does load up, there we go. It's going to come up. My YouTube page is going to pop up because that's what I set as my home page. Maybe. Okay, so with that being said, we are now going to go and hunt down paper size as it is targeted towards Australian residents. I'm going to use A4, and so A4 dimensions. And I now know that it is 8.27 by 11.69 inches. That's more for me, not so much you, right? So when you come over here to Gimp and you want to create a brand new file, I'm just going to split these on the side here so it's easier to view them. And you go to new, you're going to have two options. Usually it defaults to pixels, which this actually gives you the pixels here, 210 by 297 millimeters, which I think is also an option here. So, but for me, as an American, I use inches, so this is what I'm going to use. Excuse me. So you can see the dimensions are just under what's available or just over. So since this is already inputted it because I was practicing beforehand, I'm going to go ahead and push OK. This is going to create you a brand new page, clean, right? So a couple things you can do is maybe you have a particular style that you're looking for your background. The easiest way to do this is to select your blend tool. I also call it a gradient tool because I'm a Photoshop baby and this is something I'm familiar with. Okay, so the trick here is it can be really confusing if you don't know how it works because it shows down here it goes from black to white. Coincidentally, in relation, there's black and white right here. So let's say you have something that you want kind of springy and festive. Right? So we'll take a nice bright pink and we'll push this little guy right here. He's going to swap the colors and we're going to go back into the options to select the color. And I want a nice strong orange. That's more poop brown. That's a good orange. So this is option 1. So it will show you down here the gradient and which way it will actually do the transition from color to color. Now, if you want to swap that, all you have to do is this, and quite simply, it'll do all the mathematics for you to get it the way that you want it. Then all you have to do is click, hold, and drag. Then let go. And it'll do it. Now you'll see that there's a lot of orange on there and barely any pink. That's because of how I dragged it. Now, if I click up at the top and I drag all the way to the bottom, you'll see that it's changed and there's a much more gradient feel to it, right? So I actually want the pink at the bottom and the orange at the top. So I'm going to reverse that, just as I mentioned before. There, that looks a lot more festive, if you ask me. Or, if you wish, you can also look up background images. I don't know, let's say spring. Alright, and we're going to go into images. And I use Google because I like the waves the best. So we're also going to go here. This is very springy. I like this. It's very colorful. And so what you want to do is you want to try to get that to the biggest size you can, because when you save the photo, oh my, not what I was expecting to find on that. But when you go into when you go into the photo, if you have it widescreen, you're going to see it just as it is. Now this one's actually a little blurry and under my quality specifications, so I'm going to look for a different one. Now it doesn't have to be one that fits exactly. It can be just about any size that you wish for it to be. So this is kind of nice. I kind of like this one. Let's see. Let's give it a second to load there. Oh yeah, that's pretty. I like that. So I'm going to go ahead and save the image as. Now you're gonna want to put this somewhere where you can find it easy. For me, don't pay no attention to that because it's from my YouTube stuff on the gaming side of the world. And for me, I have a new library called tutorials and then download tutorial files, right? And I'm going to give this a name that's more recognizable. And I'm just going to call it Apple Blossoms. Excuse me. Boop. And then I'm going to save it. For Firefox, it's going to show it's downloaded. And the reason I like Firefox with Gimp is because you can quickly just open the folder from Firefox, totally get rid of the Internet Explorer, and dump this into your file. Now, I know what you're thinking. It doesn't fit. It's not going to be right. I can't have that. It's fine. Because the next thing you're going to do is you're going to shape it to what you want. So you're going to use the key combination of Shift plus T. That's going to bring up the ability to scale it out to size. So there's one thing to note. Right here, there's a little chain here. And if you unlink this, this is going to allow free scale. I was looking for a better word, but that's the only one I can. So you should. Something to also note, the reset button will return it back to its original glory. Boop. Unless you exit out of the scaling thing, and then it won't do anything. So anyways, for this instance, you're going to want to leave it linked. And if this is the orientation that you like it, you can just scale it to fit your picture. And if you push scale, it's going to fill the page size. Now the dotted line around this, you don't have to concern yourself with because it is just showing you where the photo you currently have selected, the layer rather, where it actually occupies. So if you go back to the background, you'll see that it's only here, Apple Blossom photo is there. Now on your output, because later on I'll show you how to export and get it all set up once we've gone through the full tutorial here. But for the time, all you need to know is what you see right here is what you're going to get. So if you use the M key to move, that's right, and you leave it like that, what you see is what you get. So you're going to have that orange space on top. Also, another quick key to use is Control Z, right? And this is undo. It's universal across most programs, so it shouldn't be hard for you to remember. But anyways, that's all the time I've got for this video. So make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know anything that you'd like to see in future episodes. And as always,